When the one that you love doesn't love back, and the one thing he needs, it's the one thing you lack, that's love. Love on the rocks. When you have to read books to put you to sleep, and you're losing your looks 'cause he's too hard to keep, that's love. Love on the rocks. When you have to get high to keep from feeling low, and you'd rather hear him lie than hear him tell you what you know. You're quick in the pace, but the pace is a grind, 'cause you're saving your face while you're losing your mind. You're out every night with that Etcetera smile, but the torch that you hide can be seen for a mile, and you run to the door when nobody knocks. Well, that's love, my friend, yes, love, love on the rocks. Paul?
Paul who?
Paul Katz. When you have to get high to keep from feeling low, you'd rather hear him lie than hear him tell you what you know. You're quick in the pace, but the pace is a grind, 'cause you're saving your face while you're losing your mind. You're out every night with that Etcetera smile, but the torch that you hide can be seen for a mile, and you run to the door when nobody knocks. Well, drop your little act. You better face the fact that it's love, my friend, yes, love. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. John, does the mic sound right to you? This is very loud in my ears. But yeah, I don't know, because I'm way back here.
Talk to me.
Hello, Paul. Is that?
Turn it down a little bit.
Hello.
That's good, okay.
Now?
Good.
Can I hear it at all?
There we
No,
go.
no.
A little bit of fun,
Little adjustments.
There we
Little
go.
adjustments. Okay, well, we can play with that all night, so just raise your hand if you have a problem with these sounds. And that's the kind of night it's going to be, very informal. We have the room all night long. It's not like the usual, nightclub where there's another show in here later. This is our room, and this is our private party. Sing, drink, be merry, do whatever you want, okay? All by way of saying, I'm so excited you all came. I can't believe the turnout. We could hang people from the rafters. Anyway, the show is about love on the rocks in springtime. I just added that. We did the show last week, and it was about 12 degrees. And I said, well, we have to do it about love because it's the only way to warm up. So today it's the only way to cool off. Anyway, thanks so much for coming. You're going to hear some amazing material tonight. It's all new. Actually, the only song I'd ever sung before was this one, Love on the Rocks, which is Portia Nelson. Every single other song in the program I've never, ever tried before. And I think you're going to be amazed at the virtuosity and the brilliance of this music. And honestly, my name's on the program, but I am not the star tonight. The star is the writers, of whom there are several here tonight, so you'll meet them later. I'm very excited. So let's talk about Love on the Rocks. I'm going to start with, we'll sort of take a little journey tonight, and we'll start with the beginning of a relationship. Anybody here an old movie fan? Do you remember No Way to Treat a Lady? With, as I said last week, it's Rod Steiger as a charming serial killer. Okay. So this is from a musical version of that film that was done, I guess, about 20 years ago. right?
About 15 years.
15 years ago, okay. And for those of you who don't know the plot, it's my club act, so I'm getting to play Lee Remick. Typecasting. Yes, this is George C.
Thank you.
So let me tell you, let's set the scene. I am tall, gorgeous wasp. Yes, beautifully dressed. I work at an art gallery. Very chic. This is the nerdy Jewish cop.
Maybe from Scarsdale.
Who comes to my building to ask me about a murder that took place on a different floor or something like that. So he comes to question me, and we immediately have an attraction. And this song is about, you know, what the innermost thoughts when we meet.
Good God, what eyes, bluish, greenish, hazel. Loveliest eyes I have ever seen. Well, look at me, suddenly I'm shaking. Is this passion or too much caffeine?
Not much on looks, not much of a dresser. His every move lacks a kind of grace. He's not at all like the guys I've dated. What a perfectly nice change of pace. So far, so good. So far, not bad. He wrote my name and number in his book in pen yet. He's kinda cute and so polite. This very odd, gumshoeish, Jewish, bluish night. Oh, there I go. It seems I never learn. Apply some common sense, forget his sense of humor. His charming smile is none of my concern. No matter what, he won't charm this consumer. A business call, that's all it is. And when the question's end, believe me, friend, I'll tell him go. No, no, not yet. Although I should before things move along too far. So far, so... Oh God, what time is it?
Almost 9:30, I think.
I'm supposed to be at work at 10, and I'm not even dressed.
That's okay. I'll come back when you have some more time.
Well, not tonight. There's an opening at the gallery. How about tomorrow night? We could go out.
Out?
Great. It's all set then. I get home from the gallery about 7:45. I'll need time to look beautiful, so let's go out at 8.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow night, and don't forget to bring that pad. I'll have a lot to say.
Goodbye, Miss Stone. So far, so good. I can't complain. At least I'll have tomorrow night at 8 to live for. Dear Sarah Stone, don't look so sad. You'll find that Sarah Brummel doesn't sound half bad. I may break out. Oh God, my throat is dry. I'll grow so sick with love. With luck I won't recover. Oh, what's the use? I'm sure she has a guy, a fiancé, or even worse, a lover. Doomed from the start.
A waste of time.
I've had my fill.
I know the sign.
Don't stand for more abuse.
Use some excuse,
But tell her no, don't break her heart. I bet it would.
You think it would?
It's just a day away.
I'm going out with a
I
cop.
think I may be sick.
I bet the chicken's out.
I have a date tomorrow night. So far, so
Good.
Over to you, Laura.
So, the first hurdle, meeting the person. The second hurdle, figuring out when to admit that you think something. Somewhere in this song it says, I love you. You'd miss it if you didn't know it's there. It's cleverly concealed, only half revealed, and I'm not gonna say just yet, just where. The verse has other thoughts to mask the meaning, but that's so other ears won't recognize that somewhere in this song it says I love you, but only in disguise. Please don't think I'm non-committal if I don't cut straight to the chase. For now I'm gonna let on just a little, till I'm sure that I can tell you face to face that somewhere in the words my heart lies hidden. I'm gonna trust that you'll discover where. And if you're so inclined, I'm certain you will find it says, I love you let's see. So, we've met the guy, we've thrown the L word around. Interestingly enough, you can be deep into a relationship and it still can be a little bit rocky because compatibility is not always perfect. And a matter of fact, you may really find out, the more you know about a guy, the more you want to know, the more you find out there's a lot you didn't want to know. Something like that.
Ready? I always look for the perfect girl,
and I for the perfect boy. A wonderful world of joy,
where we always would agree.
I always thought that the perfect love called for the perfect mate, who'd think like me, who'd feel like me, who even in a pinch would make a deal like me. So how can we ever begin to explain what a mess we're in?
Wouldn't you know I'm a dreamer?
And I am the practical kind.
With figures and cash, she's quick as a flash, and I've got a wandering mind.
Wouldn't you know I'm the cool one? Keep all of my feelings in place.
I'd like to try, but boy, if I lie, it's written all over my face.
I go out of my mind when we're together, but I go out of my mind whenever we're not. Oh, what a spot. Wouldn't you know I'm a Taurus?
I'm Scorpio right to the hilt. And
Wouldn't you know, astrologers show, together we register tilt. But as crazy as it may appear, we really have nothing to fear. Cause wouldn't you know that we're in love?
Wouldn't you know I like football? And she couldn't even keep score.
I adore chess.
And I must confess, I think it's an absolute bore.
I like my meat on the blue side.
And anything rare I detest.
I adore snail and pheasant and quail.
And I'd send them back to the nest.
I go out of my mind when we're together,
But I go out of my mind whenever we're not.
oh what a spot. Wouldn't you know I did Bartok?
And I'm just a musical square.
I like ballet.
And I like a play.
There isn't a thing we can share, but we've got to admit it's a fact
That opposites do attract. Cause here we are caught in the act. We're in love. Here we are caught in the act.
We're in love. He is impossible. It's absolutely true.
If I only like snails.
Where were we?
Time.
Oh. nice relationship, and I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but you think everything's just going fine, and as I said, the L word is flying, and then one day you find out you've been on totally different wavelengths, and it's an incredible shock. Have you ever been in that situation? I'm having the time of my life. There's so much to make me feel happy. I'm practically bubbling and bursting with glee. Things are great with me, 'cause I love to be cheated and used. I'm thrilled to be filled with this feeling of being abused. Darling, I'm so enthused. Say, can we go out now and spend the night dancing? I go dancing whenever I'm battered and bruised. You, of course, thought that I'd be more than grateful to be part of your therapeutic plan. Never mind that you lied and never even tried to tell me where that plan might lead. Oh, I'm having the time of my life, enjoying this wonderful moment. Everywhere there are reasons to jump up for joy. I have been your toy, and love is starting to climb in my life. Now that I've wasted a year of the prime of my life, what a beautiful life. You've gotten your answer, darling, so leave me alone while I'm having the time of my life. Next stop, therapy. I bet he thinks of me. I bet the thought of me comes unexpectedly. I'm that nagging question. I'm that sinking feeling. All the time he's wondering what I'm thinking. Well, I think of him not very often, hardly at all. Now and then, when something reminds me of something we did, or something we saw, or something that we said, then ever so briefly the thought of him enters my head. I wonder if he thinks of me. He must, we were together, weren't we? He must have some doubts every now and then. Surely he must wonder if I think of him. Yes. I think of him 12 times a day. It's very quick, zip and away. It's odd, I can't help it. I suddenly ask myself what he would think about something I've done, or something I've eaten, or something I've said. It's like that blindness right after a flash. Just for a moment, the thought of him blinks, and it blinks, and it blinks, and it blinks in my head. He never thinks of me. To him, I'm ancient history. Who have I been kidding? He's happy to be rid of me. And I think of him 60,000 times a day. The image of him just won't go away. It's there when I get up and get in the shower and go off to work and pretend that I'm working. It's there when I go home and sit on the sofa, stare at the TV as if I were dead. For a minute or two, I forget all about him and turn off the light and go up to bed, where I think of him again and again, and pray that the thought of him someday gets out of my head.
Good humor guy.
Patty wrote bells. No? They were nice. I liked them. Okay. So feelings like that. I mean, whether you have the benefit of therapy or not, it doesn't really matter, because sometimes this anger, this frustration, this misery makes you do things that really amaze even yourself. I should be sorry for what I've just done. I should feel remorse. I should have regrets. I don't have one. I should be sorry. It's no minor sin, but I only feel a wonderful warmth across my skin. The sun hasn't fallen, the sky didn't shatter. I wasn't devoured by the flames of hell. A law has been broken, but it doesn't matter what in time this may destroy, when right now I feel such. Is this joy? I should be careful, discreetly proceed. I should want to pray or cry out or screech, but all I need is to sleep. Revenge. I'm not telling you what I did.
He thinks if you don't worry about it.
I think he does too. So, revenge is not a long-term answer. So, here's one. Hold on to all the good stuff. Hold on to the best and let go of everything else. How's that for a life philosophy? Woo. I love you, my soldier, even with your battle scars. Now I am without you, and I ask the stars. Where are our storybook lives? Romance novels with happy endings. Easy lives with no pretending. Ours didn't happen that way. Where are our storybook dreams? Partly hidden and partly peeking through walls of stone that I am seeking to burst through, just to find you. If I were given a half a chance, I would change the circumstance. I'd never say goodbye. I'll remember who you are. I'll remember from afar. I'll remember how you talked, how you loved and looked and walked, and all the things I planned to do do we want storybook lives? Maybe heartaches add more meaning. As we grow older, our thoughts are leaning on the past. I'll take my memories from the folder as nights grow slowly colder. In moonlight, rewrite our lives some night. Not all storybook lives are penned by authors smart and clever, who scheme but never dream that greatness could happen to you and me. In my mind, I'll create a story to lovers in glory. The lead storybook lives. The lead storybook lives. The lead storybook lives. That song is by Paul Katz. We're coming to the hands-free portion of the show. Very challenging. Well, the road to true love can be a long and arduous journey. It can take an awfully long time, or kiss a lot of frogs, as Vanessa would say, until you find that certain someone. When I set out to marry, I thought that I would vary my choices, so I searched from sea to sea. In fact, I sampled nearly every nationality. But Spaniards didn't set my heart to panic, nor Nords, nor Dutch and such. I'd soon determined. The man for me turns out to be Germanic. And so she ain't left out y'all, that means German. He's my rootin' tootin' tootin', ain't smug or highfalutin', my rootin' tootin' Teuton man. Him and me and my sis Melba's gonna homestead on the Elba. I love my rootin' tootin' Teuton man. I do lieber when my spirit's sagging, we'll ride to town in our covered Volkswagen. I worked up and down the Chalon, but now ich bin eine Fraulein. I love my rootin' tootin' Teuton man. But getting to him took some time. I went through more bows than a trigger-happy engine. I bet he was Persian, or some real similar version. And though I liked the headdress that he wore, we sure did do a heck of a lot of facing Mecca, a bushel and a peck, and then some more. Next was that Israeli, brought me flowers daily, but I could never stick to Moishe's plan, 'cause I'd pass on any shtetl to be my Hansel's crackle. I love my rootin' tootin' Teuton man. Cows in the bow house when I do the yardin', and nanny goats kids in our kindergarten. If a gal still eatin' grits will get a taste of Wiener Schnitzel, she'll wanna get herself a Teuton too. Alfredo was Italian and bucked just like a stallion. Hell, he knew how to give my heart a tan. Yeehaw! But he ate too much stromboli and got all roly-poly. Not rootin' tootin' like my two-tone man. I want a two-tone, not a two-tone man. I started with the finish, but that it soon diminish. And poles, well, no one's ever asked if I've been cold. I swam right past Loch Lomond, but in Rome I did a Roman. But like Eskimos, they all just left me cold. Now I adore the way my two-tone draws those funny-looking bees, and the way he makes those little old faces by putting them two tiny dots over his O's. And there is a certain sense of security a girl gets knowing she's marrying into the master race. So for my part, I pledge to use my strudel and make sure our home is kept up in an October festive manner. For my rootin' tootin' tootin', as sturdy as Rasputin, my rootin' tootin' two-tone man. Sven and Jorge both were dandy, but not nearly as cow-handy as my rootin' tootin' two-tone man. On the Danube we'll bring the clan and search for gold with a marzipan. Then we'll float home like a zephyr to our heifer, horse, and pepper. I'm gonna feed my rootin' tootin' man. But I wasn't so quick to learn my lesson. I always did take a liking to them sweet types. Jean-Claude was a Frenchman who traveled with his henchmen, and I was just too blind in love to see. Still, I should have smelled the stench when I heard from Jacques the henchman. Jean was rather fond of Jacques wee-wee. Maybe my whole problem was just those darn foreigners acting all ladylike. I had to try a real man, a red, white, blue, and steel man. The hilltops of Kentucky were my source. Well, Zeke made me delirious, but I couldn't take him serious, cause his sister never gave him a divorce. Nico's little old Greek man, weren't at all a meat man. In fact, he never once was satisfied. He told folks, I adore her, but he left my saddle sorer than a trip around the whole damn Great Divide. Misha, that white Russian, would always leave me blushing. Well, he was just a lush in the end. Still, his cowpoke comrade Sasha had this sister named Natasha. Well, that's a rumor I hunt right down in. Misha, Moisha, we had a blast, but as a housefrau, I'm home at last. Those old beaux may say I'm rotten, but them's just sauerbraten. Cause I got myself a rootin' tootin', lager chugging, luger shootin', I'm a kind of two-tone man. And it doesn't have to knock first when he brings me around my bratwurst. Not my rootin' tootin' two-tone man. There ain't a one I could have chosen could fill out later hosen like my rootin' tootin' two-tone man. Danke schön, baby. Take a bow because he wrote that. And he wrote the next one too. This song is just to prove that love isn't always about romance. Love on the rocks can affect other parts of life. kids grow up, they all move out. It's normal, I suppose. I guess that's just the way life goes. David's in London to work on his thesis. He's living there with Anne and the kids for 2 years. Julie and Doug live an hour from Boston. Liz just moved to Washington, she's changing careers. Jill lives out in Santa Fe, she's pregnant again. And our little Ben is a senior at Penn. But for Christmas they all come home. For Christmas they all come home. Dennis and I spend the whole week preparing. We baby-proof the house and make up all the beds. I stock up the fridge like I haven't in ages. 4 milks, 5 jugs of apple juice, and 6 different breads. Then we hang the lights outside. It takes a whole day. It's quite a display. We get carried away. 'Cause for Christmas they all come home. For Christmas they all come home. And for just a few days I have them back. And it's almost like it used to be. For a while I'm young again, with children needing me. With noses to wipe and laundry to do, bruises to fix, heads to shampoo, and diapers to change, dinners to fix, fights to break up, Jell-O to mix, peanut butter sandwiches to pack. My Christmas gift is getting all that back. Soon after Christmas, I know they'll be leaving. They'll scatter all around, well, that's just how it is. But we've already planned to meet David in London, and we'll drive down to Washington to visit with Liz, Julie, and our little Ben, the baby, and Jim. We'll see them, we will. We'll see them, but still, there's only one time when we're all together, laughing and singing and joking and teasing, screaming and fighting and hugging and squeezing. Only one time I have them all at home. For Christmas, for Christmas, they all come home. Major surprise, there is love after youth. Sort of. I love his chin, that's almost there. It tries to stand out bold and strong, but holds back, a little scared. I love the fact he isn't thin, although the way his paunch hangs round his waist shows once he might have been. But as for now, he's one more sign of a tiny imperfection, and I find each imperfection an indelible impression that he's simply and specifically mine.
I love her nose, the way it shines, although it makes her ill at ease. Still it pleases me just fine, and I can see she isn't young. She tries to hide the lines around her eyes, to deny what time has done. But as for now, It's one more sign of a tiny imperfection. And I find each imperfection
an indelible impression that he's simply
and specifically mine. Tiny imperfections. What are tiny imperfections? If they give the least impression that she's simply and specifically mine.
I can't believe it, but it's thank you time. I had to check the music. Okay, thank yous. We have so many. This has been such an amazing group effort. Let's start with Paul Katz. Next, John Znidarsic out in the corner. Take it away. John is totally the brains behind this show. He picked out all the material, he directed it, everything is John. Yes, okay. Then there's a gentleman named Randy Herzog who would like to take a bow, and this is his piano, his mics, his sound system. He brought them in from New Jersey as a favor. Of course, we love the room, we love Etcetera Etcetera, we love Franco and Stefano and Daniela for letting us have this show here. And we have, as I said, the room is ours the entire night, so I'm interested to see what happens after I finish singing. Let's see. I'd like to, of course, thank each and every one of you for coming. You have no idea what a thrill it is to be up here and see all these faces and have them say downstairs they can't fit anybody else. What a thrill. But the last, and of course never least, is this show, as I said, is not about me, it's about the material. And these writers are amazing, and Paul wrote Storybook Lives, but Nick Levin wrote practically half the act, I think. So, Nick, would you guys As far as I'm concerned, you should be on Broadway, right? And the West End and everywhere. So I think we should end with some advice to the lovelorn. It is about love on the run. Once I visited Maine and learned to refrain about their climatological trend. If you don't like the way the wind's blowing, time is your best friend. If you don't like the weather, wait a while. When storm clouds are looming, don't start assuming, wait a while. Thunder can turn into laughter, snowflakes can fall out of style, just wait a while. If you're under the weather, wait a while. Covered with sunburn, soon you will unburn, wait a while. Whatever the climate, I'm at my best when my frown becomes a smile. Just wait a while. When the slush makes you droop and you need to recoup, Guadeloupe can seem so far away. But the weatherman knows you should wait in repose, 'cause spring will bust out any day. If you're sick of the weather, show some guile. When rain falls in torrents, here's all it warrants, wait a while. Skies that were long overcast start to turn sunny at last. Sometimes the weather's rather vile. First skies are balmy, then a tsunami. Wait a while. Your heart breaks in September. Well, try to remember June's best to walk down the aisle. So wait a while. When there's snow on your stoop and you've got to go scooping, you're crabby and croupy. Okay. Don't grab a shovel to dig out your hovel. Wait, and love will melt it away any day. If you're sick of the weather, wait a while. With rain in your eye, it's redundant to cry, so wait a while. 'Cause when there's a fella to hold your umbrella, Trenton's a tropical isle. And if by the end of December you still haven't found love that's true, well, I know what to do. 'Cause I'm still waiting to wait a while.
Lawrence Lewis. Lawrence Lewis. The late Lawrence Lewis. Come on, Lawrence.
See how a flower blossoms. See how a flower proudly blossoms. It's not afraid to open. It's not afraid to shine. It simply fulfills its own design. And see how a flower brightens even the hour when the night encircles our lives with darkness. Still it survives to learn that sunlight and moonlight fade and then return. Knowing its time is fleeting, knowing it soon will die, still it beams and smiles at the world. So see how a flower blossoms. See how a flower breaks free and blossoms. Why are we scared to follow, even as years depart? For hasn't a simple flower a lesson for the